Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 5. We'll just start by closing our eyes and continuing to observe. You can always start with taking a couple of deep breaths into your belly, slow, deep breaths, to let your system settle and arrive here. Wherever here is for you. And in that observation, we tune into a space, an awareness that has no meaning, that has no cause, no concept, no sense of gain or loss, or better or worse. It just is what it is, fulfilled, absolutely fulfilled in itself, with itself. And as we explore this space, this pure awareness, pure observation, we start to become very familiar with it, and we start to realize that space, whenever we close our eyes, it is always there. It never actually goes anywhere. And we can ground ourselves in that awareness, as that awareness. We can start to see that the pure awareness is at the basis of all our experiences. The basis of it is our pure awareness. Without our awareness, without that knowingness, there wouldn't be any experience. And in recognizing this state of freedom, in the pure observation of it, we can decide, or we can grow into a more expanded state of being. And from there, react with clarity, act with clarity, and with love. For me, love is such a big part of meditation, because I can see that in this space of just seeing whatever is happening, I can tend to my mind that can go in all kinds of states, and just always lead it back to its own peace. I can sit and I can say, my dear mind, your truth is absolute, unchanging freedom. And your imagination is infinite. And that's your play. Play in your imagination. I'm not afraid of anything that you can come up with. And we can train that fearlessness in meditation. We do. Because we see that everything that the mind comes up with is just imagination. It really is. It has no reality to it. It's just popping up randomly right now when we're watching. And this allows us to see that as we go about our day, the mind comes up with all kinds of meanings and interpretations. And they are the same imagination. Yes, some seem truthful and are helpful to deal with certain situations, but it's only one way of looking at it. So we can let go of this rigidity with which the mind thinks that it is right. And we can embrace it with the love that is vibrating in our watching, in that freedom, that space of being, of pure existence that holds the mind, that holds the space for the mind to even arise. And we can lead the mind back to its source, which is just pure brilliance, undivided. And as I talk about the mind like that, it seems as if I'm creating a trio there. Like my mind, my body, and me, observing both of them. And that can be helpful sometimes to just not identify with everything that the mind comes up with. Not identify with every emotion that runs through the body. But ultimately, without my observation, both of them are not. And we can also see that when there's a thought and we don't make it ours, we don't believe it so much, it doesn't actually cause any struggle. If we're hearing somebody else's thoughts, they don't affect us in the same way because we don't say they're mine. And in fact, no thought is ever mine. They come up randomly. I don't even know what I'm going to say next. It just comes and then I know. And the same with action in the world. We take one step and then we can see more. And we can see what action is required, what reaction is required. But before, in the morning when we're in bed, we don't know all these situations that will come up. But we know when we know, and that's all we need to know. Meditation allows us to just rest for a moment in that state of suspension, suspending action, suspending meaning making, suspending judgment. Suspending the thought that anything is not exactly as it's supposed to be. Did that make sense? Suspending the thought of imperfection. And we can see that beyond all the worries, underneath, underlying, permeating all worries, is just the state of freedom. And the worries come and go. The judgment comes and goes. And we just sit, resting in our own fulfillment. Right here, right now. Did that? Oh. The more we meditate, the more clearly we're able to see that that sense of fulfillment is the same before action starts, during action, and after we've completed whatever task we set out to do. It's the same absolute satisfaction inside. And the mind is not always tuned into that. And meditation gives us the opportunity to lead it back to its own source of absolute fulfillment. Just take another deep breath into your belly. You can rub the palms of your hands together and cup your eyes. And continue your day in freedom and in clarity and in love. See you tomorrow.